Well, welcome to Recovery After Divorce once again, and we're with Gary Sprague. Maybe you've seen our previous interview with Gary. Gary is the president and the founder of the Center for Single Parent Family Ministry for the last 22 years. Gary, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mark.
You know, last time I asked you a question about how a single parent or a parent going through divorce, as they're in the process of divorce, how they should respond to their kids, the kind of questions they possibly might ask their kids. So here's a different kind of question, very similar though. What should a parent do with their children as they're processing after the divorce has been final? Maybe it's 6 months down the road. What's that number one thing that a parent should know?
Right. Well, and I think what happens with the parents is they're doing recovery from divorce. So after the divorce, they're going through some type of program or talking about how they're feeling, how they're grieving. And so it's the same type of answer. It's include the kids in that grieving process, include the kids in the recovery. Obviously, this is a family situation. It's not just one person going through this. It's a whole family if there's kids involved. And so the best scenario is, as the parents are going through the recovery, allow the kids to go through. And so there's programs out there for the kids to go through and for them to talk about what's going on with them, how they feel. The worst mistake parents can make is to say, well, it's been 6 months or it's been 6 years and my kids are fine. It's been 6 years and they're just fine. Well, guess what? They're not fine. And when you talk to kids, you'll find that out. And time is not a healer unless you're actually going through the process and actually recovering through this. This is a grieving process for you and for your kids. So you go through the program to recover and allow your kids to go through the program to recover as well and continue to check in with them.
Gary, as you mentioned, time does not heal all wounds. Another thought on that. Right.
Well, and it's like an injury. If you have you busted up your knee and you have this injury and you had surgery on that knee, and then you think everything's fine, but later on really they didn't do a good job, maybe there's some infection in there. Well, down the line, in order for them to go in and really fix it, they're going to have to cut it back open and get that infection out that's still in there. And a lot of kids, it's called a sleeper effect. Many kids have this sleeper effect with divorce, and they're going through the process where there's emotional infection. And we think they're okay because we want them to be okay, because if they're okay, then we feel better about them ourselves. And if they're not okay, then maybe we did something wrong. But you know what? We have to check in with kids all the way through the process. And a lot of kids have that emotional infection in their life. And so we just have to check in with them. And again, like I said last week, it's you pay now or you pay later with interest. And so, you really have to check in with them along the process.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it.
Yes.